Uh, Namaskar. Good morning, everyone. I take a great pleasure in welcoming our today's chief guest and person to inaugurate our Nitte University's Innovation Council's Institutional Innovation Council's program, hosted by Students Innovation Club Kshema, Professor Dr. Indrani Karunasagar. She is a founder of our research center in Nitte University, which has won a lot of accolades. And she has ably brought up whole department now headed by next generation. And she is a great inspiration to us. And now our responsibility is to get next generation youngsters to be sensitive to innovation and entrepreneurship, which is a need of the hour. Hence, I feel we have chosen a right person who has got international standing in her field of work. Therefore, nobody else better than Dr. Indrani Karunasagar can do justice to this program by inaugurating it. I welcome you, madam.
Thank you. Thank you.
I also welcome members of Institutional Innovation Council, Nitte University, Mr. Vivek Pai, Dr. Kishan, Dr. Renita, and all others. We also recognize the presence of member Mr. Shashi Kumar Shetty, Mrs. Ansha Rai, heading the hospital Master of Science in Hospital Administration and such course. Mr. McQueen of Public Health, and we have contestants from various departments of Allied Health Sciences. In a short notice, they have prepared themselves for this interesting debate on digitalization, a boon for innovation and entrepreneurship. I welcome all of you for this interesting debate. Before we start, I just a remark about digitalization. If you look back few years ago, maybe about 5 to 6 years ago, very few of us were using digital transactions, and it was mainly in terms of the credit cards and to some extent on debit cards. So that at that time it was called plastic money on a lighter note. But when the new things had to come, when the economy had to be made more transparent and user friendly, do away with the things like checks and the cash, which is not really great for the economy as well as the users, because users are more comfortable not carrying money, which is easily lost due to various reasons, and it is also a burden to carry the cash and the coins and like that. That more importantly, the ease of transaction is greatly enhanced by resorting to the technologies available now. In India, the internet is so cheap and universal, and all available technologies are available to enhance the transactions online. Hence, now even the youngest of the person who can actually do transaction monetarily knows how to buy things or even sell things sometimes without using any cash. And lot of high volume transactions are taking place without cash. So we thought whether this is also an important aspect in innovation and entrepreneurship. So our students are welcome to deliberate on this issue threadbare. They have given 4 minutes time to present their views, and 1 minute afterwards. They have made up two teams from each sub specialty. One will speak for and other will speak against. And at the end of 4 minutes each, they conclude. And once both of them finish, 1 minute each will be given to rebut if there is any query remains. And we have esteemed faculty of different colleges, Dr. Kishan, Dr. Nitte, and Mr. Vivek Pai to judge this debate. I hope they have received the score sheet and the format. Thank you, sir. Thanks for confirming. Meantime, I welcome Dr. Praveen Kumar Shetty, Director of Central Research Lab and University Research Cell, who is
thank you, sir. Thank you.
Who is the driving force behind our research and publications. Thanks, thank you, Dr. Praveen, for joining us. I again welcome everyone, the chief guest, the judges, Innovation Council members, Innovation Club members, the contestants, and all other people, head of the units, departments, institutions, for joining us. And I now request Professor Dr. Indrani Karunasagar to go ahead. Over to Dr. Shashi. Over to Mr. Shashi.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Shripad Mahendali. First of all, a very good morning to all of you. It's exciting to have, yes, digitalization even in the process of today's event. But the debate has already begun with Dr. Mahendali tilting the seesaw to an extreme end. He has started by speaking for digitalization. So I am just wondering whether I should give a welcome speech, an inaugural speech, or sit on the other side of the seesaw and try to balance whatever Dr. Shripad said. That was on a lighter note. I myself tried to see that I would refrain from speaking anything for or against this topic, only because the inaugural speech cannot become one that jeopardizes any one sector, okay? Anyway, the topic is beautiful, and I appreciate those who are going to be daring enough to talk against that topic. For the topic is fine, and you have all got already a lot of points through Dr. Shripad's talk of plastic money and everything else that he said after that. But let me, on a formal note, go back as a microbiologist to the days of Louis Pasteur. Louis Pasteur, the father of microbiology, I think lived somewhere between 1820s to 1890s. I don't know the exact time, but that was the period. And he is, I think, noted for some of the finest discoveries in science. Whether it is vaccination, because today everybody is talking about Omicron and whether the vaccines would protect against it or not, or you talk about fermentation, all of this we have to, I think, bow in obeisance to this God of science who brought about so many discoveries. Being a microbiologist, naturally, we read it and repeat it often, and therefore, it is not without reason that I bring him in the inaugural part as well. So during the course of his discoveries, there was a raging debate in Europe on whether basic microbiology was more important or applied microbiology. And then came to fore this argument that was going on again and again, where Pasteur was finally asked, do you think basic microbiology is important or applied microbiology? And do you know what his answer was? He knows only one microbiology and the application of it. So basic microbiology and the application of it. So today's topic is sometimes a kind of debate on something where it is wonderful to think of all the novelties that have come about, all the advances, but it will be beautiful to listen to those who are not going to make hollow arguments, but really bring forth the importance of the other part of it, where, yes, you may have digitalization applied, but what happens to the early aspects of understanding and how to go about it? Debates are literally a form of life, you can say. From childhood days, a child wants a chocolate and the mother refuses with reasons, whatever, on the effect it can have on the teeth. And now children are very intelligent. The dentist will tell them it's not really the chocolate, but it's something else. They do a lot of research on it. And then they will have arguments against it. Thanks to all the digital applications that are available, they will read how chocolates are not really responsible for it. So you have an old school of thought, you have a new school of thought, whatever be the age, and they are arguing on it. Yes, healthy argument, sometimes even a fight, and it goes on. The child grows up a little, and then when a guy or a girl brings a boyfriend or a girlfriend home, the question arises, no, you have to only marry the person I choose. So the debate begins, is love marriage better or arranged marriage? And we have a lot of arguments for and against, each one with examples that have shown the failure of one or the success of one over the other. And most often the parents tend to say, look at me, mine was an arranged marriage. And then they point out to another family where the lady is like a dead wood in the family. And then they say, look at that person and how that person has suffered because of arranged marriage. And then the parents are there to show how a love marriage has failed miserably. So this kind of argument goes on. Let's get a little further. And then the argument comes about after marriage. Is it better to have a son or a daughter as a progeny? Former days, son was the preferred one. And then they have all kinds of statements to show that no, girls are better, they take better care. And then the family sometimes saying, no, but I need a boy to light my firewood. So an argument, literally a debate. So in day-to-day life, we keep on having debate. Come to the precincts of a medical institution, and then our Dr. Shripad Mehendale would be part of it, when it is asked, is it better to use euthanasia or not? The arguments can be many, yes, especially for the terminally ill patients. But there would be a lot of them not willing to accept euthanasia because of the love for whoever they are taking care of. Then comes the legal cell. You would have people arguing whether it is better to give death penalty or not. And we witness these debates day in and day out. So it could be in an informal form where it can be called a discussion of two opposite views. It can become a very formal one on a stage like yours, where you're given a topic, and even if you are sometimes not for the topic, you collect points in order to speak or to win, is it not? This is the case. You may feel for something, but you may argue against it only because you are there to defend something that is given to you. So it's more a scholarly application of the topic for two different kinds of arguments. Well, that apart, come to a cricket field. You always have the umpire deciding whether he raises his hand or no, or says no ball or whatever, and the crowd getting euphoric or agitated, and then What has digitalization done? When we say digitalization, it encompasses a whole lot of digital applications. And then they show you play and replay and replay and replay until that micron distance between the bat and the ball touching it, or the ball touching the wicket or not, comes about. So debates are going on in day-to-day life. So we are, in fact, by participating in a debate, equipping ourselves to knowledge that would like to understand both sides of a topic. And how well it is presented may decide who wins. And such a person who wins can rightfully go to the field of legal studies, go to become a great lawyer. Ram Jethmalani could go and prove that a person who has actually committed a murder has not committed, all because of his arguments. And therefore, for me, when Dr. Shripad mentioned about this, I would rather be a participant in such a topic. And like Dr. Shripad spoke, both of us could have had a nice debate, but both of us would be sitting only on one side of the seesaw. That would have been the disadvantage. For which we would have had to get, of course, I'm an old timer, so I can still sit on the other side and blow him out. And with me, another 80 or another 75-year-old sits, then all together we can destroy the digitalization process, which Dr. Shripad already started speaking for. So this is going to be an interesting debate. So what are we seeing in college when you have such an event? We are only looking at skill in a reasoned argument, and the reasons that a person uses is put in a formal setting and then presented to all those who are hearing. So I feel already I'm a part of the debate, because without even understanding that it is an inaugural talk and I'm only expected to wish all the participants the very best and to say, may the best win. And the one who does not win certainly did not feel very strong about the topic itself. That is how I would take it. So in one sense, everybody who participates today is going to be a winner. Friends, I think I have been young once upon a time, okay? So seeing you all today, virtual board, yes. I'm excited to rewind the wheel and to look at myself standing on stage, because there was no digitization then, and thumping a desk if I had to make a very strong point. But you don't have any desk that you can thump. You can only use your good manners to put forth your arguments. I was a debater all the time, and maybe that quality continued in life for me, that I always had an opinion. I would not say right opinion, because what I think is right for me. There will be an opposite person having his or her opinion, which is right to them. So what I learned during the process is respect another person's opinion. You have your opinion, so that comes with age. It doesn't come when you're very young. You would still argue the way you want. But we learn to respect and to hear another person's opinion in order to provide a rejoinder at the end, which is given to you through this debate process. The first debater gets an opportunity to present opinions against what the second person spoke, albeit in 1 minute, okay? So without taking much time, I was supposed to speak only for 10 minutes. I hope I have done justice to inaugurate this beautiful debate online. And let this beginning of debate take you to further rise in the way you present your debate as an article in a bioethics magazine, or take this to write an article in a newspaper, then you have an opinion against what exists. And this is amplified in a country like ours, a true democracy where no one opinion will rule. And in a secular democratic country, the problem is even more severe. So you have an opinion, don't become just a sheep, but try to see if your reasonable opinion finds a place where you can pen what you want to say today. I wish you all the very best. I wish the organizers, I should say, I would like to congratulate the organizers because they have tried to keep everyone vibrant even in a COVID world, which is again resurfacing with the new 50 mutant containing coronavirus. Nobody knows how it's going to be, whether it's spread fast, mild illness, vaccine works, vaccine does not work. Nobody knows at this stage. It remains to be seen. So, but at this time already, when care is being taken to see that the COVID etiquettes are followed, that we take care to see that we do not become the cause of a spread. Being a victim is one part of it, but very often young people can become the cause of a spread. But that also now throws new light in that this new variant, Omicron, has affected almost all the people in South Africa below the age of 40 and at least 3 people below the age of 13. So it raises eyebrows where it means the elderly, the old, the middle-aged and the young all have to take equal care in seeing that we do not become the cause, the effect in spreading any condition, not just within our local area, but within the regional, within the national, and also transboundary for those of us who need to sometimes travel from one country to another or send material from one country to another. So I wish you all good luck. And Dr. Shripad, wonderful. I thought इस टॉपिक में क्या डिबेट करेंगे क्योंकि सारे लोग एक ही बात कर सकते हैं, but it will be wonderful to listen to those who are going to speak against the motion, for and against. Good luck to all of you, and the best part will be you should get to the people who are participating from each institute to be 2 great friends, because then the 2 great friends fortunately won't become enemies after this debate, okay? So Dr. Shashi, Dr. Vivek, I see Dr. Praveen and other colleagues, Dr. Kishan, I see in the list of names there. I thank you all for this opportunity. I cannot make it very formal, sorry, because that's not really my way at all. And thank you, good luck, good day.
Yeah. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for your wonderful thoughts towards our debate competition. With this, myself, Shashikumar Shetty, I'm an assistant professor in medical imaging technology and also IAC member of Kshema. It's my privilege to give a vote of thanks before we start a competition. First at most, I thank Professor Dr. Indrani Karunasagar ma'am, despite of busy schedule. We supposed to conduct it in an offline mode. Because of the other restriction, we went to the online mode. She accepted our invitation, and as Shripad sir mentioned, the right person we choose to be a chief guest on this day. Thank you very much, ma'am. Next, I thank Dr. Praveen Kumar Shetty, Director R&D, Nitte University. Is also a part of our the event. Thank you, sir. And I thank all the 3 judges, Vivek Pai sir, Dr. Renita, and Dr. Kishan sir. to be. We know that since being a teaching field, it is very difficult to engage the time for such a event. So they engaged, they agreed to be part of the judges panel. Thank you. And I thank all the head of the courses, McQueen and Dr. Sumalata. Also, I can see Sumalata ma'am and Anshul Rai and Pratima. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Sumalata ma'am. Thank you, McQueen and Anshul Rai and Pratima and Archana from coordinator from MLT. And at the end, I thank the organizer of the event, Dr. Shripad Mahendale. All of you that despite of a busy schedule, he agreed to be part of this, and he's ready to be part of the organizing committee. Yes, thank you once again. We'll go ahead with the competition. I think already everyone have received the rules and regulations of the event and as well as the schedule. First, before we start a competition, I'll read once again the rules for the evaluation. The debater will be evaluated on the following criteria, which is clarity of the subject, facts and statistics presented, spontaneity, and time utilization. So each debater will be allotted 4 minutes for presenting their views. At the end of 4 minutes, the moderator will stop. I can see, I'll press a buzzer. You can see the sound of this. Will be pressed so that you have to stop it immediately and you have to allow the other person to present their view. The other team member will get a 4 minutes to present in their point. Then each one will get 1 minute for have the discussion each other at the end of after 8 minutes. So this being, I already mentioned, is the success of depends on a performance of both the team member, so that the judges will judge on the particular evaluation criteria which I mentioned. First at most, I'll invite the student from MPH, Dr. Reshmi Matthew and Pallavi.
When
Your
can
time
I
starts now.
Good morning, everyone. I am Dr. Reshmi Matthew from Public Health Department. And as we already spoke, we all accepted that digitalization is using us nowadays. The entire platform for this debate itself is a digital platform. So what is digitalization? It is a use of digital technologies to change a business model and provides new revenue and value, producing more and more opportunities to us. And it is a process of moving to a digital business. And from where to where? It ranges from converting our signature to a digital signature, making us possible to sign a document online and to scan a paper document to a digital document such as PDF, everything. And where all we will use this digital help? Everywhere and every time. Are we aware of this, that we are realizing it, that is, we are using it every time? Not exactly, actually. When you wake up, what is the first thing you are doing? Like, we'll be switching off our alarms, no? Where these alarms are coming up nowadays? It is from our mobile phones only. And immediately after that, what we'll do? We will be checking our beloved social media platforms, what happened to the world when we were sleeping. So we'll be happy to see everything that is happening around the world. And we want to know more and more things through these digital media. And what is the outcome of this digitalization? It increases the efficiency, it reduces the production cost, it lowers the production cost, and it gives us some ease to live in this busy world. It increases the data quality, especially for entrepreneurs, and it enables something called automation. That automation means it decreases the human intervention for all the activities that we are doing, like making a self-service counter in a supermarket, like that. And what once boxer Muhammad Ali said, a defeat doesn't make you stronger, but it forces you to a change. And what happened to us during COVID-19? Yeah, it was a defeat, because the entire world was totally shut down, locked down, because of this pandemic. And what happened? we successfully, slowly overcame the pandemic. And what happened to the entrepreneurship? The maximum number of entrepreneurs came up during the pandemic. Imagine our log line. Who was the most successful entrepreneurs during that time? The home bakers, the women who was hidden with their cooking abilities at home. They started entrepreneurship, like they started baking, they watched videos for cooking, they produced their items through beautiful photographs, they clicked photographs and they sold their products to WhatsApp group, Instagram, everywhere. And I am a medical officer working for the health service department of Kerala, and I was there during pandemic in Kerala. So during that time, it was very difficult to handle these patients, to shift these patients to a COVID first line treatment centers and all. So that time we have arranged a group of carer cabs in Kerala so that it will be easy to transfer the patients when ambulance is not available for us. Digitalization helped us so better way to perform our work during this COVID pandemic. And what about the e-Sanjeevani services during pandemic? That is the telemedicine. This was the first thing that it came during pandemic, and everyone started accepting the telemedicine facility. Till then, we were not at all in a mood to accept someone consulting online or so, because we need the touch of those doctors. But during this pandemic, this telemedicine helped us a lot. And in handling the mental health issues to patients and the quarantine people, we gave online counseling. Especially for medicos, it will be a very useful platform if we can use this digital media. And during business, Swiggy, Zomato, Google Pay, everything we are using day to day. And imagine the online shopping sites, online shopping apps. We can't think of living without those things. It is cheap, it is available everywhere. Even the villages can sell their products through digital media, right? And what are the job opportunities which are created by this digital platforms? It is like a web analysis manager, creative director, video editor.
Yeah, Pallavi can start immediately after that.
Okay, so digitalization, I think my colleague has told most of the positive things. Then why is people not talking about the data breach, the privacy interruptions happening everywhere? So she said a lot about the entrepreneurship and the innovation. Really, I think if cyber crime is also entrepreneurship, I think that is also boomed up a lot in this era, right? So like in India, there is an increase of almost 63% prevalence of cyber crime being cyberbullying. So when we talk about the World Wide Web, I think we should also talk about the other side of the coin, that is the dark web, where people hiding their identity, doing all kind of crimes, the terrorism and all such kind of negative activities that are going on. What are the check about that? And we see a lot of health activities are happening out in this digitalized era. It is very easy. And really, when Rashmi just stated that the human touch, is it still there? Or is it still digitalization helping out in health, or is it deteriorating health? The mental health problems that actually arise out of digitalization, what about that? Is the online counseling really helping? Is the online platform of their discussion, is it really helping? I don't think so. Is it? So I think I should also talk about the infodemic that happened in this pandemic. When we say digitalization really helped to do a lot of things, what about the infodemic? The misconception, the misinformation, the disinformation that flowed throughout, and which had actually no check. A lot of people were jeopardized regarding that. Did it really help the mental health? I don't know. And when we talk about NCDs, we say people to be active, people to involve, to indulge. And what is the digitalization doing? Sit at home, do everything on your seat. Do nothing absolutely, not even cook nowadays. You can order everything, like she said, Swiggy and Zomato. A lot of people have got addicted to it. They're really scared to meet people nowadays because everything is online, everything is digitalized. I think irony of the situation is now we have to meet like this in the digital platform. So I think when we talk about privacy and all the bank accounts, the easy transfers, why are there so much of miscommunication? And I think for GPays, they're trying to attract people by giving rewards. I don't know if there are 2-3 rupees rewards. I don't know. We are losing so much of amounts in digitalization. Is that being on check? I don't think so. And we talk about digitalization and innovation. I think the innovators have already long gone. All innovations are now on internet. People are browsing and copying the old. Children attending online classes, I think their creativity is being very badly hampered. Like they're just copying notes, they're just putting it on the paper, and there is no creativity or innovation that is booming right now. So that is also one negative part of the digitalization, is what I want to say. And when we talk about loneliness, the social loneliness, the emotional loneliness that they're facing because of digitalization, I think they feel relationship in person has become very complicated and online is the best. Is that what we want to teach the next generation? Not meeting people on real people and talk online. And what about the second hand living that we're talking nowadays? Attending all events online, not meeting people, not having the human touch. Is it really not hampering the emotional feelings or emotional touch of people? I think one day, like we say in terms of mask, if we keep wearing masks for another 10 years, people of the next generation might think that is a private part. I think then if we keep using digitalization and the digital platforms, my people may think that gatherings and people meeting people would be very offensive. So I think that is not what we're going to give the next generation, right? And I would also talk about the entrepreneurships. When the small and
Yeah, at the end of the total 8 minutes. Now, 2 more minutes you will get for the rebuttal in case if it is anything is there.
Uh, it means like when digitalization is not humans against computers or humans against machines. It is humans and machines. They should go together, and then we can make the world and our life easier. And you should be afraid if you're unable or reluctant to change, because digitalization is not just a trend. It is a way the whole world is heading. That's it.
I think the digitalization wave that Reshmi is talking about, basically the artificial intelligence, what she said, the robots controlling the computers, and we don't have any work, right? They can do everything. So I got like Stephen Hawking. So one major person in artificial intelligence, he himself told that artificial intelligence, if not kept a check, will definitely end human species. What about that? So, and most importantly, I think according to the evolutionary theory, there is a saying that any species that are evolved, which is on top of the evolutionary pyramid, will rule the rest of the unevolved species. So I think we don't want robots or any artificial intelligence ruling human species. So that is my point on digitalization.
Yeah, thank you so much. Judges, please note the competition for the first team, which has taken time exactly what we mentioned. I think we can go ahead with the next team. The next team is from MHA HSM students, the Chinmay Devi Kuchi and Havish Vijay Shetty. I request the first presenter can go ahead with your time starts now.
Good morning, everyone, and to the chief guest and professors and all the peers. My name is Chinmayi, and I'm from MHA department, first year. I will be speaking in favor of digitalization, a boon for innovation and entrepreneurship. So, what is digitalization? It is the use of technology in various sectors. It is the process of moving to a technological world by transforming the society and economy under the use of a digital platform. It is the future of the economy, business, medical, and other fields. Since the past decade, various digital technologies like mobile internet, artificial intelligence are among the other things that have seen a drastic change in a positive way. We may not notice it, but we are very dependent on digitalization. It has become a part of our lives. Many innovations, like the invention of the light bulb, motor engine, or a mobile phone, are part of the digitalization. It was promoted with the invention of the internet. It further spiked with advances like high-speed mobile data, and nowadays we use 4G and 5G internet, which will make applications with increased speed. This all happens because with the switch of a button in our hands. We use these in our daily lives, for example, TV, laptops, phones, transportation, and even several kitchen gadgets, and many more. They have become a part of our life that we can't live without using them. Nowadays, everyone has a mobile phone. We do not see anyone who doesn't have it. We use it to make calls, send messages or emails, planners, take pictures, videos, and many more features. It is always in our hands. Can we say that it is a bad thing? No, it makes our lives easier and gets things done faster. It helps us be connected with our loved ones and have access to any information we need. In the olden days, people used to send postcards or letters and they had to wait several days or weeks for a reply. During this time, nobody knew what would happen. Those were the uncertain times. But now, with the latest technology, they can be connected at all times. Now, the most important part of digitalization is the automotive industry. It all started with the invention of the motor wagon in 1886 by German inventor Carl Benz. In present times, we use some mode of transportation, whether it is a bus, bike, or a car, to get from one place to another. The use of cars is the most popular mode of transportation today, and I'm sure some of us own cars. The advancements seen in cars with special features like GPS, automated driving, wireless solutions, and many more. Sure, you might say these developments are not environment friendly, but innovations and digitalization had to start somewhere. But new technology like hybrid cars, electric or battery powered cars are eco friendly. They do not have the need of petrol or diesel, which in turn will not harm the ecosystem. Self driving is another good novelty because this will lead to lesser accidents and the person will be free to do their work while in the car and not getting distracted by the phone or any other sudden obligation. Many experts also predict that new technology infuses many traits of the automotive value like manufacturing, distribution, and retail with the help of artificial intelligence and customer data will increase the investments and profits in the future. The most important digitalization to happen is the medical field. Over the years, there have been so many progressions and improvements that it has led to a new and easier way of treatment. New tools and technologies, along with the use of artificial intelligence, have made a positive mark in the medical field. Some of the impacts are the improving diagnosis. It is a crucial part of the system by new computing tools, latest machine systems, which help the radiologists diagnose any type of disease accurately and fast. Advanced access to healthcare services. Due to lockdown last year, digital health had a massive surge. We were able to connect with doctors while at home. Digitalization has some very advantages.
Yeah, next presenter, can please go ahead.
Good morning to all the delegates and my fellow students. Here I'll be speaking against the topic. Well, you've seen that digitalization has helped a lot of people to to get payments and everything on time because, of course, paying bills and everything are very easy nowadays. Earlier, you would have to just go to the place and you have to give the payment and get it done. But because of digitalization, you can do your payments at any time, anywhere. But what we don't know is the adverse effects that the effects that we have seen adversely affecting the society because of digitalization. So we've seen that people keep messaging each other and sending emojis, but these emojis really don't have any expression. Like, I mean, even if you see an emoji, they don't tell what the person is actually feeling. When you see a person and you talk to them face to face, they will show their expressions, what they are going through, what they are feeling. That is how the communication becomes more meaningful and worthwhile. Also, one more adverse effect that I have seen is hackers and cyber crimes. Here is the statistics that says hackers attack people worldwide roughly every half a minute. This translates to cybercrime being committed on an average of 2,244 times per day. A cyber attack could potentially disable the economy of a city, state, or an entire country. If it were measured as a country, then cybercrime, which is predicted to inflict damages totaling around 6 trillion USD dollars globally in 2021, would be the world's third largest economy after US and China. Also, we've seen that these networks, that 3G, 4G, 5G, everything has affected the animals in a very wrong way. Uh, because of the network signals and coming, we don't see sparrows moreover nowadays because of they get stuck in the electrical wires and they die. Also, by 2023, there will be three times more networked devices on Earth than humans, according to a report from Cisco. And by 2022, 1 trillion network sensors will be embedded in the world around us, with up to 45 trillion in 20 years. Around 40% of the population in the innovation curve are laggards. That is, they don't accept innovation ideas and hence portraying a discomfort towards digitalization. Also, the taxonomy of risks and side effects of digitalization is one of the drawbacks of digitalization, and the subtypes of this are adverse exchange. That is, digitalization can facilitate the exchange of information or goods that may be desired by the transaction partners, but may have a socially undesirable effect on others. Supporting delinquents such as cybercrime can occur due to the loopholes created by IT professionals while creating an app. Adverse economic shifts. Digitalization can shift the economic equilibria in an adverse way. Shifting political control can cause an adverse effect on the country. Vulnerable IT operations can lead to various cyber crimes and impairment of health. As you can see, while using digital media or things like that, it will affect your eyes, ears, and everything else. Environment deterioration. Losing control over algorithms can cause complex and networked algorithms.
Yeah, the 2 more minutes you will get in case if any rebuttal.
So, as my opponent mentioned about cyberbullying and scams, there are steps taken against these, and so we all think is digitalization a boon for innovation and entrepreneurship. Yes, I strongly agree because it improves our lives and makes it easier for us. We don't have to waste our time for little things which can be done through digitalization, and we can use this time to spend with our loved ones and be closer. It is an ever-growing network and is linked to our lives in a good way. And if used properly, it helps improve in areas like agriculture, health services, transportation, manufacturing, and many more. It has also helped us face the pandemic and made it a safer way. When used properly, digitalization benefits us highly in an optimistic manner.
Like Chinmay said, the thing is that the digitalization did help during the pandemic time. But what about the people who are older in age groups and they don't accept this as a boon? Because the thing is that they are not getting adjusted to this. They can't make payments. They prefer giving notes than the online payments. Also, that cyber as you can see, the stats says that every half minute there's a cyber crime that is occurring in the world. So how can you say that we can reduce cyber crime? Because there are some or the other loopholes in every IT app that is being created in the world. Also, we have to see about the environment as well. It's affecting the environment also adversely, and you can see that the banks are also going under bankruptcy. Also, small business companies are going into bankruptcy because of these big business online shops that have come, like Alibaba, Amazon, all these things. They have almost taken over the business industry around the world.
Thank you. With this, judges, please note both the team is taken exactly the time which we mentioned. The next the next presenter from anesthesia and OT technology students, Miss Natasha M and Miss Nidhi Bhatt. I request. Yeah, your time starts now.
Ladies and gentlemen, today I'll be highlighting the pros of the day's topic. So, talking about digitalization, it is basically the converting paperwork into digital format. So I'll be specifically focusing on the business, the big businesses that's happening. So during the COVID-19 pandemic, when we couldn't get out of our home, when we couldn't get out of our homes and go to the office in specific, it was that the entrepreneur started with a new theme of work from home. Is it disturbing anyway?
No, no, please go ahead.
Okay, so it was this new theme that came of the work from home. You could just sit in your homes and control the entire office with the PC in front of you. You could connect to the entire world through digital platforms like Cisco, WebEx, Zoom meetings, etc. So this has definitely reduced a lot of time and cost because we didn't really have to look after the building rentals, the travel expenses, the travel time, etc. And this indirectly has increased the efficiency and productivity because these digital platforms gave new speeding processes. Like for example, you have the robots. We know that the robots can work 20 times faster than human beings, and there is generally less errors happening. So it is also said that the business intelligence software can collect and analyze data in such a way that there is no. I can see some messages that my voice is not clear.
No, the voice is clear. Please go ahead, Natasha.
Okay. So it is told that the human beings, when we calculate few things, there may be errors happening, but the speed and the accuracy of the robots cannot be matched by the human beings. So by looking at the analytics and the data that is being provided by the computer, we can make quick decisions and conclusions can happen faster, so that the entire business can run smoothly. And this has also led to the housewives and the teenagers becoming more famous or being more known to the people to the small things that they have doing in their homes. Like the ladies have started the cooking videos and the teenagers doing these dance videos, the singing videos, and their talent is known more to the world through digital platforms. And then we can talk about the banking revolutions that have happened. Otherwise, we have to go to the bank and stand in queues, collect cash, and we have to always be, it is always a mess. But right now, it is that you can have the biggest of the biggest transactions sitting in your homes with a mobile phone. Take for example, you go to the canteen below, and if you have the online transactions, you're just free. Otherwise, you have to face uncle's grumpy face telling that you don't have change, you go and get the change. So it is like if you have online transactions, it is easy and the most efficient way for the transactions to happen. And then we can talk about how digitalization has reduced human errors and definitely led to the quality of people's life, like the automatic cars and the electric cars that have come. It has definitely reduced we know how much the petrol hikes that's happening these days. So the electric or the automatic cars that have come into existence definitely have reduced the fuel costs, and we don't really need a fuel to boost the engine. We can run it through electricity, and the use of solar in the digital world, that's whatever the automatic calculators and many small little things. We can see that even the smallest of the smallest thing these days is being digitalized so much that we are actually completely dependent on a digital world today. So yeah, I just end saying that.
Yeah, next presenter can start.
A very good morning to one and all present here. I am Nitte and I will be speaking against digitalization. We know that digitalization is a process of converting information into digital data. Digitalization has revolutionized every aspect of human life in the recent decades. Television, shopping, office work, everything is done, all these areas are being recently transformed. Besides having revolutionized all these sectors, there are downsides to the digital marketing as well. In recent times, this work from home has become very common in the corporate sector, and the workers or the employees are trying their best to keep themselves updated. They prepare for the presentations, the meetings, answering video calls or conference meetings. Now, this has doubled their work. They tremendously increased the workload, and now they work for 12 to 16 hours per day. Besides this, also on the weekends, they have no break. They either get text or calls from the higher authorities or their colleagues, which are supposed to be answered. This has not only physically strained them but also affected the mental health of the people. Now, these days we see shopping, banking transactions, or payment of bills. Everything is done online. But people have lost the communication touch. They are not able to speak or present themselves in front of the public. They feel socially alienated. Just giving an example, we have like so many friends on Instagram, and people find it so cool texting them on social media. But when it comes to real life, there is no one to talk with. And studies have also proven that loneliness and lack of communication has led to depression and mental health related issues in many people. Next, coming to the job and security, India constitutes 78.7% of the total labor force, which includes the people in the working age group, that is 17 to 34 years. But these days, the computer and the technology have come up and have rapidly replaced the human beings. There are so many places or sectors where humans are not required at all. And if the technology advances at the same rate, there will be days where we find vehicles running automatically and where the human work is being replaced by robots. So this will mean the complete removal of people from the working sector, which will lead to unemployment issues. Yes, I do agree that digitalization has saved time and brought everything on a footstep. But people have started living a second-hand life. That is, all these programs, the concerts, the everything is being recorded and posted on social media. So this means that people have experienced life within the four walls and online, virtually. There is nothing that people have experienced in real life. So there is nothing called as a first-hand life. People are only on social media and visualizing everything only digitally. So these are some of the drawbacks which I would like to tell. Last but not the least, these digital gadgets have a shorter lifespan and they become archaic more often. So once the new devices or the new versions come up, the older devices have been discarded. This creates lot of waste and inefficiency because the people are people try to upgrade themselves with the new devices. This also makes it expensive for the people because every new version comes, they're supposed to buy or upgrade their devices. So these are few of the drawbacks I would I put forward in front of you to show that how has digitalization a negative impact on the society as well as in the personal life. Thank you.
Yeah, 2 minutes more will be allotted in case if any rebuttal is there.
One more thing, what I would like to tell is, other than the, am I audible?
Yeah, after the Natasha, then you can please go ahead, Nidhi. Natasha.
She told about the, I completely respect her opinion, but she told about the concerts and the gatherings being held online. But the only way to battle a pandemic like this is that we hold digital content so that people are aware of the things that's happening around. Definitely, it's not, we can't hold physical gatherings everywhere or hold concerts or any function, anything cannot be, because it is, we can't have people around us during this time. So digital media platform has been the only way to have a communication with people and other things. Then talking about the data security, that the data is being leaked and things like that. The companies use their personal servers and they have such an security that the data is being stored in their personal server unless and it is like it's not stored in any windows or anything that the data can be leaked that easily. Obviously, there are different systems which handle things like that. So I'll
Okay, so you told about the concerts and all, that you have to supposed to handle the pandemic. But the thing was, the digitalization came much before COVID. So even that time, people preferred watching it digitally. And now, even after the pandemic ends, maybe there might be days where people would like to sit at home and visualize things and wouldn't like to get into public. So this becomes a habit for the people, which will make them feel lazy. And anything posted coming to cyber criming and terrorism, anything put on social media or anything put on internet becomes viral, or it is easily, people can hack it easily. And also, as the new versions come up, the storage becomes a problem because they're supposed to transfer files every now and then, which becomes difficult for people and also tiring at times. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Judges, please note that this team also has taken exactly the time which we mentioned in the rules and regulation. The next, the debate presenter is from medical imaging technology student, Miss Blossom Fernandez and Miss Tancia Paris. The time starts now.
The art of possible can only be achieved through visionary IT leadership as well as the art and science of modern IT management. Having said that, a very good morning to all my worthy opponent, the organizers, and the panel of judges. I'm Tansya Pires and I'm from Goa. The only thing keeping me sane right now is the way I can connect to my family back there in Goa is because of the digital world. Having said that, I will skip the meaning of digitalization as all the co-contestants have briefly very well explained what digitalization is. I will move on to the points that tell us why digitalization is definitely a boon for innovation and entrepreneurship. When we talk about innovation, we have a lot of examples. 4 minutes are definitely not enough. We have self-driving electric cars, fully automated warehouses. These electric cars definitely will decrease the carbon footprint and lead to greener workspaces. We also reduce the stress on paper, which can in turn save a lot of trees. Deforestation can be avoided, so we are having a very green impact on our nature as well. Now, moving on to entrepreneurship, the biggest hit, the largest destroying impact that our country has seen was COVID. And the only market that could thrive during this situation was the digital market, without any doubt. So we could maintain distance, work from home as we speak right now as well. This debate wouldn't have been possible without this digital platform. So yet again, we are talking about digitalization becoming a boon. Then people can work at their own convenience, and it is very enticing to see that you can earn so much of money and with being in the comfort of your home at any point of time, and you can connect anywhere and at any given point of time. Next, moving on to the medical field, as we all are medical professionals, it goes without saying that medically digitalization has helped a lot when it comes to patient data handling and report writing. Packs where we can store so much of patient data, and at any point the patient can come back and we have all the reports at our disposal. We can, when we talk about the ample amount of pathologies that we are dealing with, we can get any sort of information right from the causes, symptoms to the treatment, as well as the drugs can be made available by pharmacy businesses going online, getting digitalized, like pharmacy when we talk about, or we talk about Practo, where you can literally consult a doctor in case of an emergency. So, and there is a new thing that has come up, that is remote patient monitoring. This is like a bridge that is built between the hospital to your home. Like, it is like literally taking a hospital at your disposal at your house. So, and there's also telehealth. So these various things related to medical again shows us that digitalization is definitely a boon. Moving on to safe banking. Now, when we talk about money, who would want to roam with so much of a bag of cash and or important documents and then lose them or something like that? Nobody definitely wants to get into that rut. So we have safe net banking, we have so many apps which are safe, and there is always authentic verification of authentication, like double verification is also done, so it's really safe. And transfer of money at any point of time, even during the wee hours of the day, no matter what time of the day it is, you can just immediately transfer money, help someone in need. Moving on to education, this COVID has literally taught us a lot. Like education would have been shut down. We would have lost 2 years, but it has helped us. And right now, I am sure my worthy opponent also has prepared
Yeah.
her speech through online. Uh, as well. Thank you.
Good morning, one and all, respected chief guests and all other delegates present. I will be speaking against the topic as to how digitalization has adverse effects. Digitalization has indeed been a blessing in these tough times of pandemic and lockdowns. It has truly opened up tons of opportunities and platforms for budding, aspiring entrepreneurs to expand their business prospects and make a name for themselves. But is this new and upcoming trend of online platforms entirely safe and risk free? Does social media have a negative impact on innovation? To begin with, digital media is one such tool that isn't for everybody. Smartphones, computers, good cellular reception, access to the internet are still quite a luxury in many rural areas of our country. Many of the micro enterprises from remote localities are still quite undiscovered. The added expense needed to acquire the equipment of digital media, let alone benefit from its widespread use, is another major drawback for poor, illiterate, but skilled producers. With most companies and businesses opting for online marketing and promoting strategies, the company's strategies and offers are portrayed on the World Wide Web, making it easy to copy the content. With copyright laws getting increasingly hard to enforce, many big firms hire special professional writers to curb plagiarists. However, small business owners don't have this luxury to do so and must remain vigilant. Data available online has now become easy to edit and manipulate. A business or startup meant to deliver quality services with good intentions could easily be edited to portray a false image of the entrepreneur using smart editing tools. Such fake news is easily digested by the people online as they believe pretty much whatever the internet feeds them. Cybercrimes and online scamming are also substantially increasing in today's world with modern innovations such as phishing, malware, ransomware, and website spoofing. Cyberbullying and hacking are also quite the fear among budding online setup. Many a times a consumer may not be able to pay or is unreachable to receive payment for the services rendered. Thus, it is not always possible for a budding businessman to keep track of his buyers. Negative feedback or criticism posted online is visible for the entire audience to see, so carrying out effective customer service online can be quite challenging. Digital data also enables storage of huge amounts of data, which could be personal information or data of the organizations. But there is also a possibility of the information being breached with the increase in cyber threats. One simple breach could prove to be a fatal blow to the company or person if the data lands in the wrong hands. Also, another major setback of digitalization is the ability to work or run business from the comforts of their home, leading to a very relaxed and sedentary lifestyle and reduced human interaction. Less contact with fellow clients is definitely an advantage in these COVID times, but this is also reducing one's social skills and the ability to make a sale in person. In order to promote their new business, entrepreneurs tend to bombard the consumer with frequent mails, messages, and even calls. This may sometimes be annoying to the public and thus make the young businessman lose clients by his own doing. A lot of time, energy, and thought are put into a budding setup to securely establish it, leading to a lot of anxiety and constant fear and peer pressure to be better than the rest. In order to make an idea innovative and different and unique, many young budding entrepreneurs undergo a lot of stress. Thank you.
Okay, to rebut to this, the first point that I would like to say is small scale businesses. She said that there are no opportunities for small scale businesses, but I feel because of the digital world, I think each person is a potential entrepreneur. Because see, when we talk about small scale businesses, you have everything at your disposal because of the digitalization. You sit at home, you do not require cost of infrastructure, you do not require cost of traveling. You have to just have a good internet connection and a laptop, that's it. You can start your business at home at the comforts of your house. So how is it there? The second point she said was about cyberbullying and cyber crimes increasing. But for that also, we have a lot of cyber security. There is the new thing that I have, according to my statistics, is that National Cyber Crime Reporting Portal, which has been there. Also, there is Internet Crime Complaint Center, which is again digital. So it's protecting us anyways.
Electricity and internet connectivity are the running fuel for digitalization. But in many villages, like I said, in India, do not have the facilities that are facilities of internet connectivity, let alone electricity. So again, without electricity, having digital connections is very, very almost impossible.
Okay,
Also,
to that, I have my statistics.
Nancy, unmute.
So according to my statistics, to that reply, I have that in India we have 636.73 million internet users. So what are you talking about? Internet is all over the place already, and India is the second largest online market in the world, ranked behind China. So and it says that in 2023 we can definitely go ahead, and our users are going to be above 650 millions.
the added expense needed to set up such a digital equipment like smartphones, laptops, internet connectivity, data is all
Yeah,
another
time
disadvantage.
end. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, judges, please note we restricted this team's presentation and the rebuttal within the time limit. The next presenter we have from Medical Lab Technology, Mr. Roshan Steve Pinto and Mr. Elvis Ashwit Fernandez. Roshan?
Yes, sir.
Roshan and Elvis, can you
Yes, sir.
switch
We are
on
ready,
your
sir.
camera? Yeah, your time starts now.
Okay. So, good morning to everyone who are present over here. So, today I'll be talking about digitalization is a boon for entrepreneurship and innovation for the topic. So, mainly we know that digitalization means converting information from to digital data. So, I want to break it down to three topics. So, the digitalization mainly affects our social, economy, and our individual life. So, to start from economy, so in early times we know that businesses had monopoly. So, what happens is that there was no competition, and only the specific company would have the reign over everything. For example, we can take for Apple. So, before Apple was a great product before Android. So, everyone were totally concentrating on that. So what happened now is that due to the introduction of information, so there are many ways we get to know that Apple and Android, in between that, Android has beaten, according to researchers. So Android has beaten Apple in all the features. So it gives advantages for the customers so to have a broader option so that they can select what they actually want. So, and as we can see from the past lockdown, so when everyone were at home, so what happened is that due to the online thing, they got a platform to show their uh, to show their talents. Okay, to show their business and talents. So what happened is that they got a platform to show what they can do so that the customers got another advantage. So then what we can say is that workforce. So before, when the workforce was slow, but now due to the automation, what we can say is that the products what we are getting have become qualitatively and quantitatively faster because of the automation. So the next what I have to talk about is the social. So before now, think that we are going to a place where we don't know anything. We are new to the place. So what happens is that if we want to know anything, we have Google Maps which we can refer and do whatever we want. So if we go to a place where we don't know the language, so we can go to YouTube. We can search for the language they speak. We can learn it and we can learn and we can cooperate with them. So finally comes to the individual part. So during the past lockdown, we know that we were mentally uh, depressed because of the lockdown and we had no activities. And this time, what happened was that OTT platforms came up, because of which we got entertainment facilities and entertainment, all types of news, movie shows, and other history related things we got, because of which we were good. And then the main part of digitalization is the information that we get. For example, people before had no idea about colleges outside of their locality. But now what happened is that if we put the name of the college in the Google, so we'll get the college website. So we can go there and find whatever information about the course or other things what we related about that. Um, and we can see that the net banking has gone from 55 million, that was in 2014, to 240 million. That is nearly 4 times of what it is for the past 5 years. So I want to conclude by saying that
Yeah. Yeah, Rohan, you start your.
Good morning to one and all present here. I am Rohan Pinto of MLT Department, and I am of the motion that digitalization is a bane for innovation and entrepreneurship. Is digitalization really a boon for entrepreneurship and innovation? Perhaps on the surface it may seem like it, but let's dig a little bit deeper. The main goal for a business is to be successful, is to maintain a monopoly or a duopoly. A monopoly example would be railways, which is managed by the government, and a duopoly is Zomato and Swiggy, which manages the biggest market share in India, or in some regard to maintain a market dominance despite having competitors. A good example would be Tesla, which is dominating the electric car manufacturing, having a staggering 66.3 in 2023 in 2020 in the entire electronic vehicle market, despite having competition from known brands such as Ford, Chevrolet, BMW, etc. Digitalization also increases market awareness as every second person uses a mobile phone or a computer. This becomes bad for companies in a way because it also shows them their competitors and they could lose customers in that regard. If you think about how it's affected India, we can see we've moved slowly but steadily from small privately owned groceries to huge retail shops such as Apple Mart, Spar, or DMart. Moreover, Spar is a Dutch multinational franchise. Who knew that? On to my second major point. The main hurdle for digitalization is the upfront financial burden that companies have to take in. Digitalization definitely doesn't come cheap, and most small businesses cannot afford mainstream or even entry level digital technology required for digitalization to improve efficiency of running businesses. Creating a fully digital workflow process is an expensive process, not only through the acquisition of IT related systems and applications, but also in the training of subsequent employees in it, thereby making digitalization only accessible for companies with a good balance sheet or funding. Thus, although the coverage of organization using applications for digitalization is growing year by year, it still remains at a rather low level. This is due to, first of all, that the fact that such complex systems are expensive and basically large corporations can only afford them. Another point I want to speak about is automation. Automation leads to job losses eventually. It is planned that by 2036, about 50% of jobs will be automated. And as a result, this will lead to a transformation of the labor market and a change in the socio-economic situation in the regions and in the country as a whole. This will lead to a significant dismissal of workers and a reduction of number of jobs occupied mainly by personnel with an average qualification level. I believe another crucial point to take into consideration is the digitalization, and it automates everything. If this wasn't there, then the required manpower would be there and job opportunities would still be there, and there would not be any dismissal of workers. And as we know in India, the large labor force, the informal sector especially, provides roughly 20% of the GDP. Suppose a majority of the informal sector becomes digitized, it would lead to a massive loss of jobs for the most vulnerable section of a society. Job cuts are only part of the problem, along with the possible business losses due to the poor integration into the innovative environment of the economy and society. data loss risks, since in this case, significant and operational resources are required to ensure their safety. Another issue is the increased market saturation, as starting up a new business doesn't require physical workspaces anymore as it used to. There's been this significant increased number of new businesses starting up. To be concise, the difficulty to maintain dominance in the market and the upfront financial burden becomes a huge drawback for digitalization of new emerging companies. Moreover, the threat of automation taking over entry-level jobs yet an issue to have a viable solution. Thank you.
Yeah, 2 more minutes will be
As
given for
Mukul said, I have to disagree to fact to the finance. So the finance may be expensive, but due to the government initiatives and incentives, we can get government fundings because of which the cost can be cut down. And as for the market competition, it is always good for the monopoly, no monopoly, because if there is only one monopoly, then the only business which is having the monopoly will have the profit and the other businesses will be in loss.
Can you unmute Rohan? Rohan, unmute.
I feel, as Elvis said, he said that job opportunities are created. I honestly disagree with that. Automation will lead to lots of job losses. Another fact is that a lot of cyber crime is there. It's very hard to maintain data anonymity and like protection of data. And I think he spoke about OTT platforms. Now, another problem with OTT platforms is like the main selling point is the exclusivity of movies, series, etc. So when you have lots of OTT platforms like Disney, Netflix, etc., people have to like subscribe to all of them if they want to see a particular movie or anything else. So I feel like almost all the advantages of digitalization can be disproven. Thank you.
Thank you. With this, we are ending the debate speakers, the team-wise. Thank you for all the participation. I request now judges to give a few words regarding on the participation and about the competition. You can start from the Vivek sir.
Oh yeah, okay. First of all, I would like to thank the organizers for coming out with such a brilliant topic for the students to really, throw their mettle, which was their life was made very difficult, Sripal sir, I'm telling you. The topic was appealingly easy, but apparently easy. But then it was, I guess, I don't know, maybe biased on to the people who are speaking for. And therefore, I think my observation, I might be wrong, but then my observation is that, we have to be a little biased on those who are speaking against, because there was not too much stuff that they could. But having said that, these guys who have spoken against have really tilted it in their favor. I think all of us will agree that. I'm not belittling the efforts of the one who has spoken for. I'm just giving my observations, because these guys knew, the ones who were talking against knew already that they were at a disadvantage. Therefore, they had to pull up their socks, sleeves, and really put in a lot of efforts, and they would have done a better homework, is what my observation is. I think if I'm wrong, please rebut me here, Sripal sir and Shashi sir and the rest. Okay. But then, having said that, I would want to, though I'm not going to give a decision right across, but then my observations about see, the whole topic was perhaps misread by the students. They were talking about digitalization, advantages of digitalization, what does it mean for digitalization, but then they were not connecting it with the real name of the topic was, let me read it out, it was debate competition for students of allied health sciences, digitalization, a boon for innovation and entrepreneurship. Now, only two of the participants, let me not name, but then two of the participants read it very, very clearly. The rest, perhaps we are talking only about digitalization, advantages of digitalization and things like that. I think this is my observation. Most of us will agree with that. But therefore, my advice to all these young friends who have really done you guys have set the stage on fire here. You are really, I should really, accuse Shashi sir for not having given enough time for your students. ಹೌದಲ್ವಾ? ಒಪ್ತೀರಲ್ಲ? ಅದರ ಮಧ್ಯನೂ ಅವ್ರು ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಪಟ್ಟು ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ಸು ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ಸು ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಅವರಿಗೆ ನಾವು we should appreciate. So, big round of applause for all the students who have participated with a lot of courage, temerity, strength, and collecting data from here and there and doing a lot of justice to this particular topic in such a limited span of time. So, I really appreciate all of you guys, both for and against. Okay, so I only have to say that. But then next time, be aware, read the topic clearly, prepare yourself, and stick to the time. When you rebut, do it spontaneously. Don't please read out. I saw one or two participants were just, gaga, just reading through the prepared speech. That is not a good sign for a debater. A debater has to be spontaneous. A debater has to be, collecting data from here and there and from the blue and trying to make it, passionate with a lot of body language, gestures, the presentability, and all that comes into, all this is, see, the idea of debate is to make you all feel very comfortable, to improve your communication skills, the presentability, to, impact upon the listeners and stuff like that. So I feel these are some of the takeaways for all of us out here. And I think that's it.
Before we go to asking with the next judges, please note, say these all students, whoever with the today's participant, some of them are first years, just they entered to the campus and they've taken an effort. We announced it on Saturday, I guess. Yeah. They prepared it within 2 days. So absolutely, we should appreciate their effort. Absolutely. As well as the coordinator who encouraged their students.
Sorry, I'll interrupt. That is why I said I will accuse Shashi sir. And I am talking on behalf of the students now. I think you'll agree with me.
We take that accusation, sir, in the right spirit. We should have done it earlier.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm always talking on favor of the students here now.
Yeah. Kishan sir,
thanks for raising that point.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. It was a good experience for me to judge about this topic, digitalization, a boon for innovation and entrepreneurship. I think definitely kudos to the team for their preparation. And what I'm feeling is they are prepared very well with the pros and cons of this digitalization. And the real charm of this debate, I found probably in one or two teams. Other people, as Vivek also was pointing out, they're just reading their point. So probably this would have been happened still better with this debate in front with the audience. Probably could have been happened in a little better manner. So overall, it was a good team effort. Even I learned many points about this, the pros and the cons. Thank you for organizer for giving us the opportunity. So we'll be sending our result sheet shortly. Thank you.
Renita ma'am.
Yeah, hi. I think Vivek sir and Kishan sir said it all. I don't have anything more to say, but congratulate all the participants for a very brilliant job and in such a short notice. I thoroughly enjoyed judging it and also being a part of this competition. So I will not repeat what Vivek sir and Kishan sir already said. So congratulate to all of you all and also congratulate to the organizers for getting up this competition to all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, all the judges from the judges panel. Dear participant, please note that the result will be announced within a short time and we will circulate through your email. And the e-certificate for the winner will be given within 1 or 2 days. And the prizes will be distributed during the offline program. Whenever we conduct institution innovation council any program, we will distribute on that day. I think with this, Shripad sir, we will end, or you like to have word? And I'd like to have one more point, which is particularly all the coordinator who encouraged their students to take part in this. part of in the part of in this event, and I thank all the coordinator for encouraging their students. And I think adult students got a good opportunity to showcase their talent in this university. Thank you.
It was a wonderful debate. Actually, it's much better than what we expected. And Vivek sir told it is definitely a notch above what we were
Absolutely,
expecting.
absolutely, yes.
Especially as some of the students are new to the campus. Forget in the debate, they're new to the campus, so they did extremely well.
Yes.
And I should actually appreciate the efforts of Shashi and all other course coordinators to put up such a good show in a short while.
Absolutely.
Now I request Shashi to propose a vote of thanks and end the program. Thank you very much.
With this, it's my privilege to give a vote of thanks on the online debate competition, which is organized by Student Innovation Club from Shema and in association with the IAC Nitte University. I can see, I think Professor Dr. Indrani Karunasagar ma'am was listening all our the competitors' presentations. And thank you, ma'am. I know you are, despite of in the busy schedule, you taken a time to listen our debaters' presentation and and to be part of our event. Thank you very much, ma'am. And I thank all the panel of the judges, Dr. Kishan sir, Dr. Renita ma'am, and Vivek Pai sir for taking time. And it was a great experience, even sharing with you. And special thanks to Dr. Sripad Mandale sir. All of you know that he's very busy in OT. Despite of that, he agreed to be part of this, and he's also be part of the organizing the committee. Thank you, sir, and thank you all the coordinator once again, Dr. Sumalata ma'am, Archana ma'am, McQueen, Ansharai, Pratima, for encouraging their students to take part in this event in a short notice. Thank you. And
Can we all
not the last but the least, Dr. Praveen Kumar Shetty, the director of R&D, was listening to all our presenters talk. Thank you, sir. Thank you once again.
And Shashi sir, before we wind up, can you ask everyone to switch on their videos so that we can have a screenshot?
We'll have one photo.
Screenshot. Yeah.
Blossom, Elvis, Nidhi.
Can all of us come online video?
Yeah, Kishan sir.
Videos on.
And Natasha.
Praveen sir, Elvis.
Swati, can you?
Archana madam is there. Archana madam.
Dr. Sripad is in two. Sripad Mandale and Sripad HOD.
Yeah, sorry, that I log out.
No, don't log out. It's okay.
He was in the OT.
I'll remove, sir. I'll remove. Wait.
Okay, thank you.
Elvis. Elvis is missing.
Pratima?
Yeah, Pratima is there.
Natasha Manohar.
Yeah.
Natasha
and Nidhi. Okay, that's fine, I guess.
Nidhi went to class.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've taken a screenshot just now. All the best, all the best, guys. Wonderful smiles I see. Wonderful debate, a fantastic one, well fought. You all have really made a lot of efforts. I'm really happy to be a part of this session. Wonderful. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All of us keep clapping. All of us keep clapping. I'll just take a shot again. Yeah. Here we go. Keep tapping. Keep clapping. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. It looks as if everyone enjoyed this program the maximum.
Yes, ma'am.
Everybody had a lot of claps and lot of smiles. Okay.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye. No, you all were thanking me among busy